Hey folks, come walk with me. Well, this is going to be a brief one. We're going to try to do some brief weekend walks on the weekend, because otherwise I was just going to skip the weekend. But let's try it this way and see if some short videos, some short walks that maybe help kick off your walk, help give you something else to listen to during your walk, or that you don't do it while walking at all. But let's see how short a video goes, because there's some things that I've been thinking about making videos on that just can't stand up to like 8 to 12 minutes. So I have a brief one here today. Brief one is the talking point around, and listen, I'm not taking a political stance here. I just want to point out something that I find interesting, in case it sparks an interest in you and maybe starts a discussion in some way, shape, or form. So, having said that, whenever there's a tragedy, sometimes when there's not, but especially when there's a tragedy, there's talk around gun control, regulations, so on and so forth, loopholes. And inevitably, the favorite talking point at the moment, or one of them, is this idea that the US doesn't have a gun problem. It has a mental health problem. And it's very easy then for folks receiving that message to just go, yeah, that sounds right. True. Let's not focus on the guns, because it's really masking this mental health crisis. Well, here's the problem. People who use that talking point, that's where they end. That shouldn't be the end of your talking point, because you're not doing anything to make any headway to solve the problem. You're just saying, don't look at this thing. It's really about this other thing. Okay. If that's the case, cool. What do you propose we do about that other thing? Because oftentimes programs and community or government subsidized support for something like mental health is not only is it not high on the list, but it's actively fought against in many groups, and some of which I'm sure there's a crossover to the lobby that's using this talking point of, oh, it's not a gun having issue, it's a mental health issue. Well, to me, if you're going to use that argument and you want people to take you seriously, and you want people to then say, okay, yeah, we're going to not focus on gun regulation, you have to offer something more than that. And this isn't to say it's your problem to solve. Of course not. But you're offering a reasoning, you're offering something behind why the focus shouldn't be on regulating or tightening gun laws. But you're not offering anything in terms of, if this is driven by a mental health crisis and it puts in jeopardy this thing that is so important to you, gun ownership in the US, that's fine. Come up with some idea. It can be the most surface level idea. It can be maybe what would turn out to be the dumbest idea. But to just stop at, it's a mental health issue, and then offer nothing. No way to solve that. Nothing to do about it, when it is the number one reason that our children die in this country. For you to just use that off-ramp and stop there, I think yeah. I have a lot of words that I could say, and I don't want to turn this into maybe any more of a contentious thing than it already is. So I will refrain, but it's irresponsible. Let's just say that. It's irresponsible to use that off-ramp and then end it there and say, it's a mental health crisis. I'm not interested in funding anything to alleviate the mental health crisis. I don't have any thoughts on how to do it. I'm not going to defer to any of the science or the folks who are professionals in the field. But I just want to make sure that the talking point gets off of the guns. You got to do better than that. You can have that talking point. Go for it. But don't stop there. All right, folks. We're off to a spicy one, I guess, with these weekend walks. So if you're still here, I'll see you in the next video.